This is Mark Cassidy, General Partner at Vestigo Ventures, interviewing Ian Sheridan. Hello, Ian.
Hey Mark, great to be here.
Should be fun. What are we going to talk about today?
Customer value chain.
Well, let's hear, what do you think about customer value chain?
So customer value chain, maybe its origin to start was Michael Porter, S. Porter in 1985, PhD in economics. And what he was focusing on was manufacturing logistics, from the inbound to the outbound and all the elements that take place to drive customer value. And so as we fast forward from 1985 to today, what we see as investors as it relates to the customer value chain is things have changed pretty radically. That as we think about the inbound process of recruiting and bringing the best possible talent into our organizations, to the teams that we'll invest in, to the outbound customer experience, there's a lot of things along the way that have to be considered, particularly with today's technology and the data insights that we now have.
So that's one way it's changing, but how's the customer value chain being challenged in today's fintech evolution?
It's a great question. So if we think about the evolution of technology and how wealth was created in the United States, early on, from the advent of mutual funds, turning American workers into savers and investors, we really built the system and the infrastructure based on roles as opposed to rules. So we created back office elements, middle office, front office, etc. And really didn't think about customer value chain other than the outside delivery component of it. The internal operations were really based on roles, and roles that have changed in the way we want to deliver services. So today, technology allows us to be more fluid. So what was a back office application now is a front office conversation that we have with a customer. So the trick is, how do we then align the technologies in a way that creates better outcomes for customers, consistently reminds them that they made a smart decision, and where the value chain gets challenged with technology is we now have insights along the way that we didn't have before. So now we can look at the interaction of employees inside an organization, whether it's in the operations side or the customer delivery side, and we can gather new insights along the way right up to the customer experience.
That's great. So how do we then apply that as investors when we think about that customer value chain and what we might do about it in our investing?
And that's a great question. And what that means for us is Vestigo needs to do a value chain analysis. We need to really look at how the company is being constructed with its team. Is it the right team? To how are they aligning the services, whether it's software as a service or a platform as a service, but how are they bringing those things together that ultimately affect that customer? And what are the value components that we can measure along that way? The other part that's interesting that makes it a potentially great investment are what are the insights that they're gathering today, and what are the insights that they'll gather tomorrow for potential pivots or learning down the road.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for that insight.
Thanks, Mark.